Today we're going to talk about Google AI Studio. It's got some really fun features for non-technical people, and I want to just do a quick walkthrough, get you started, and play around with some of them. To get started, you need to go to aistudio.google.com. You will need a Google account to log in, but as long as you have one, you can just use that to get in, and if you don't, you can always create one for free. Once you are in, you will basically see this screen, but in order to make sure that you get to play with the image generation model, you want to go over here to Model and make sure that Gemini 2.0 Flash Image Generation Experimental is selected. And then down in the output format, you want to make sure Images and Text is selected. The other option is, that you'll see, is just text, so you want to make sure Images is in there so you can play around with some of the fun stuff. So they have several examples here of just off-the-shelf things you can do. Take an image, add some features to it. Let's say something like, add a flower to the croissants. And run that, see what it comes up with. And it did. You can also, if you want to start over, you can ask it to generate something for you. Can you give me an image of a cute pink elephant? And run that. This one's taking a little bit of time. It doesn't always take quite so long. Okay, that's not bad. Can you give him a big umbrella? We want to kind of add something to the image. And with all image prompts, the more detail you give it, the better quality you're going to get back. I'm not a super expert in image prompting or really prompting of any kind, so I'm just keeping it pretty basic today. Curiously, it did add some tusks to this elephant where it didn't have any before. One of the strengths of Google AI Studio is that generally the image that it starts out with, it will kind of retain throughout any additions that you make to it. So it's a little bit actually surprising to see it add the tusks. Can you remove the tusks from the elephant? I'm not sure it can do that. That might be beyond its capabilities at the moment. Ah, it did. And it's not quite the first elephant. For what I'm looking for, just playing around with it, that's fine. Can you remove the umbrella? Okay, so it removed the umbrella and you can see it basically kept the same elephant. So if you just want to go play here, try to generate just a generic image if you don't have anything super specific in mind, it's really good for that. You can try to fine tune it. Obviously, like I said, the better prompt that you give it, the more specific the output will be. Okay, so what else can it do? It can create cards for you. If you want to do that, generate a design for a birthday card with beautiful floral and this message. Not bad. So you could take that same prompt, copy it. You would want to go create a new one because if you try to change it and run it again here, it will try to keep this same image and just add to it or alter it with whatever you put in. So if it's something completely different, you would want to start over, but I do like to just be able to cut and paste the prompt to alter it a little bit. So I want to make this a kid's card. So I want to say with cute cartoon animals, and the text will be happy birthday, you're a great kid. I think I misspelled something there, but that's all right. Just for an example. All right, so that's pretty cute. And you could run this a couple different times. You could add a little more detail, but just as a basic first start, that's pretty cute. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is, I saw somebody else do this. It's pretty interesting. You can add a URL of a video into the prompt, and you know how sometimes you've watched a whole bunch of videos about something and you're trying to remember, oh gosh, which video did I see that information in? Okay, a quick note. So I was trying to show you something with video and I confused myself. One of the things you need to watch for, this token count. I was on the image generation model, which I mentioned you have to be in order to generate images. But not everything is image generation, and they only allow you a certain number of tokens per day or per user. I'm not sure which. I'm on the free model. I'm not paying for anything. So the thing that I want to take a look at next does not involve image generation. So I can just go into 2.0 Flash and see if it will work. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I have loaded a video URL onto my clipboard, and you know how sometimes you've watched a couple of videos, you're trying to do a little research, and you can't remember which video was the one that was talking about the thing you're looking for. So you can actually load the URL of the video into the prompt, and you can ask something about the video. Does this video mention poppies? So was this the one that had the thing about the poppies? So, and this will take quite a while, and this is why I had to go into a different model, because you can see the token count for this is pretty heavy load. So it does not involve image creation, so it's fine that I am in this other model. And in fact, necessary because I did run out of tokens in the image generation. And here we would go away, have a cup of coffee, and come back. Yes, California poppy, Zinnia echinacea, is shown in the segment at 6:57. So it searched through the video and it found the mention and shows you the time code of where the mention was. So this is just kind of a potentially useful tool for finding that kind of thing. I just thought that was pretty fun. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about is this streaming real time. This allows you to either use a webcam, or if you're on your phone, you can use your phone's camera to interact with the real world and Gemini, and you can kind of show it what you're doing or ask questions. I think some of the demonstrations I've seen are showing what a plant is and helping me to repot a plant and asking if this is the correct kind of soil, just pointing the camera at the bag of soil. But the other thing that's useful for is your online tutorial almost. It's really, if you have an application, if you're trying to do something, you can't quite figure out the software, you can share your screen with Gemini and ask questions and see if it can help you. I've seen quite a few tutorials that show people using this for Photoshop or DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing tool that a lot of people use for YouTube videos or for other video content creation. And it's not surprising, it does a very good job of helping on those, because those are super big applications and there is a ton of information online about very specific details. But I wanted to see if, again, as a non-technical person, are some of the apps that I might use in my everyday non-technical life, could it help me with some of those? So we are going to try, and you have to click on the stream real time because you're streaming yourself to Gemini. You have to be able to talk to it, and you have to share your screen, basically. This happens to be a Cricut design tool. If you've ever seen Cricut, that's the machine that cuts out paper or vinyl stickers or something. A lot of crafters use it. And I am going to say,
talk and share your screen. Is there anything else required?
no, sorry, I am just introducing you to a YouTube video. Can you see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, I can see your screen. It looks like you are on a design program with different shapes on the left side and a grid in the center. Is that right?
That's right. So I am curious, how can I make this triangle a different color?
Okay, you'd like to change the color of the triangle. To do that, can you click on the Color Sync tab at the top right of your screen?
What color? Oh, color sync.
Yes, click on Color Sync and let me know what you see then.
I just see the square and the triangle, but it doesn't show me how to change the color.
Okay, I see the square and the triangle listed there. To change the color of the triangle, click on the small black square next to the triangle's name, and that should bring up the color options.
There is no small black square next to the triangle's name.
You are absolutely right. I apologize. It seems I was looking at the wrong spot. To change color, click directly on the word triangle. That should open up the color options.
Nope, that doesn't do anything.
Okay, it seems like clicking the word triangle didn't work. Let's try this instead. Could you click on the Layers tab at the top of the screen to the left of Color Sync and click on the triangle?
And then I click on the triangle. Okay, nothing happened.
Okay, looks like we're having some trouble with that. After clicking on the Layers tab and selecting the triangle, can you now click on the black square next to the word triangle on the Layers menu?
There's no black square next to the word triangle.
You are right. There is no black square there. I apologize for the confusion. It looks like the program interface is a bit different than I expected. Let's try this instead. Can you click on the triangle on the design space itself and then look for a color option above the grid space near the top of the screen?
Do you see any color options above the grid space?
Yes, I do see a black square in the operations section. Click on that to change the color. Does that work?
It does. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad we finally got that figured out. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding the design program?
Yes. How, if I have this triangle and the square together, how do I connect them to each other?
Okay, so you want to connect the triangle and the square together. To do that, can you select both shapes and then click the Combine button at the bottom of the Layers panel and then select Weld. Let me know what happens.
Yep, that worked. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Nope, that's it. Bye.
Okay, great. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. All right, so then you click off of screen recording, off of video, and turn off your stream. Now, the interesting thing is, it did not know what design tool I'm working with. It obviously didn't know what it was looking at, but because a lot of design tools are similar, it was sort of willing to walk through it with me and take a look and say, well, I don't know, sometimes it's over here by the shape. And if it's not there, let's look maybe above the grid section. And it did eventually find it. That was impressive. I played around with this just a little bit earlier, and it did go right away to this black square, but that shows it was not, it doesn't know this tool, because this time when I came in, it was just kind of like another set of eyes helping me to look around and experiment and see what I could see. So this could be really helpful for a lot of things, and you can share any application, share any screen. Some things it will know, some things it won't, but it's just kind of cool that that's like a personal tutor, maybe, or at a minimum, like I said, just another set of eyes to look at what you're doing. And I just thought that was really cool. So I think that wraps up what we are looking at today. There's, it's a LLM. This is Google's AI Studio is their complete wrapper around the LLM that they have created, Gemini. Much like ChatGPT, you can go in and select different models and enter things in the prompt and it'll generate things for you. This is Google's version of that. And looks like they're trying to add a whole bunch of different options. And you come in and it's a little bit confusing because there's so many options. But mostly if you play around with it, it's pretty self-explanatory. I thought the prompting, the image generation, and the streaming are the things that I thought were the most interesting to kind of take a look at today. So I hope that gave you a good overview that this is a tool that you can come in and just play around with a little bit and see what maybe it could do for you. I hope that helped. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.